yeah. It is time for the dailybreadproject.com. I am eagerly awaiting my guest. If you're listening to the podcast, I hope that you have subscribed. I hope that you have shared the light and the nourishment with the people around you who need it most. And I hope that you come back every day and get nourished. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to bring in my man, Josh, and I am going to attempt to bring this thing live on Zoom. There's no telling, or live on Facebook. There's never really any telling whether it will work or not, but I'll give it a shot. If not, we'll record this thing. I am not shy. The show must go on. We must rock and roll, must keep bringing the light daily. TheDailyBreadProject.com is what you're listening to. Let's see. Looks like we might be able to go live today. How about that, people? Josh, what's up?
What's happening, brother?
Everything. It's all happening right now, and you are right in the middle of it.
I love it.
All right. It looks like Facebook Live is working. So if you want to pop in and share that, you can. If not, you can share it later. I'm going to bring us in, and we're going to rock and roll because I know that your time is highly valuable.
Brother, I appreciate that. I am going to try and find it here. Let me see if I can.
Right on my page.
Share it. Oh, there it is. Even my name.
How about that, people? All right. So here we go. You are listening to the dailybreadproject.com. Thank you for tuning in. We go live on Facebook daily. We also bring this to you in iTunes and everywhere else you can listen to podcasts. This is the only show that I know of that brings you power, positivity, love, and leadership on the daily. And I cannot do it all by myself. I have to enlist the help of other leaders. And today I have Josh Schoenly. What is up, my man?
Oh man, I'm just excited to be here, and was grateful for the invite. And man, it is the sun is shining. I've been up since 5 a.m, so I feel like I got a full day's work in already. And if nothing else happens the rest of the day, I'm all good.
Oh man, you're like one-upping me. Like we just started. I got up at 5:30 and I was proud. Now I feel like a bum. Oh man, I'm so glad you're here, brother. I've seen you step up. Now I've seen you step up. I'm pretty sure you're stepping up your live game. You're stepping up your positivity game. What's going on over there? What has caused you to step up?
Yeah. I don't know. I felt almost like a moral obligation to do that with what's going on. In hindsight, I'm like, why wasn't I doing this for years? But hey, if it takes something like this to wake that up or reignite that in me, so be it. But very, very early on in all of this happening, I don't know, it just something in me was like, I need to do my best to be a light, to be an inspiration, even if it's just for one person, whether it's business related or family or whatever. I just felt compelled to commit to that. I've been going. I've worked harder in the last 3 weeks than I have probably in the last 3 months, or gotten more done in the last 3 weeks than in the last 3 months prior to that. And that's, I don't know. I just feel compelled to do that. I'm sure. I would guess for the same reason that you're doing this. Just to try and be a light in or light the path for for what for many is going to be a dark time, or is a dark time, or could be anyway.
Yeah, well said, friend. Well said. And I want to. Something you said there super interesting to me, and I want to go into that a little bit deeper. And I want anybody who is watching now on Facebook to pay attention. Anybody who's listening to the podcast, really pay attention to this. This is a crazy time. Things are uncertain. Josh has a bunch of kids at home right now too. We haven't talked about that yet. 4 children at home. So how on earth is it possible that you could work harder and get more done in the last 3 weeks than you have in the last 3 months?
Well, number one, I have an amazing wife. And if I'm being honest, there have been times where I've been too focused on doing lives and pouring into others and not focused enough on what's going on in my own household, because I feel this, I don't know, it's like this, it's an unusual feeling, and I don't want it to sound the wrong way, but like I view it as such an opportunity to help, that it's like creating this uh like I don't know, like just the best way I can explain it is like a moral obligation. Like I feel obligated to get out and lead, and to the point where I've had to, like I've had to at times like shut off and go, go spend time with them, because I get so caught up in, my mind always moving, and the next idea and the next live video and the next thing, or how can I do this, how can we do that. So without her, I don't know where I would be. But no, she's been fantastic, and listen, it has been a blessing, no question, but there have also been tons of stressful and lots of additional tension with four of them here, and we're all cooped up
What are the
24/7.
ages?
What's that? 13, 10, 8, 6.
Oh, you got your hands full.
Yeah.
At least you got a little older one can help. Does the older one help though?
No,
No, of course not.
yeah.
And I'm gonna, because you brought this up, and I was feeling the same way as you, because I usually, I've been in strategic coach 5 years now, and I was fiercely protective about free days, and I would take three free days a week.
Yeah.
But ever since this has started, I haven't taken any free days because I've been like you, felt compelled to lead. And I want to show you something that I just did on Friday. If you can see my screen,
Yeah.
I actually started blocking out my calendar, morning routine, daily bread, homework. So I actually started putting appointments with my family
Yeah.
and the time here on the calendar, because I was doing the same thing. I was getting carried away, and my son Huddy actually told me yesterday. He's like, "Daddy, that's enough already. Get off the computer."
Nice.
And I was like, "You know what? You're right.
Calling you out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take the
And
coaching
listen,
and
I've had a
inspiration."
few of those moments over the last couple of weeks as well, for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
Either
But
I was on the call or I was on something. Um, so yeah, it's an unusual, unprecedented experience for me anyway. Um, and just trying to do my best at home and for others, and keeping that balancing act in some way, shape, or form.
there's no such thing as balance. Keeping some harmony,
Yeah, there you
so it
go.
sounds
That's a
good.
better way. Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
So let's talk about positivity. That's one of the big things that we talk about on the Daily Bread project is how do you stay positive? So you got the kids at home, you got more needs at home than ever since your wife is picking up
Yeah,
a lot of the slack. You got this you're compelled to lead and help other people. How do you harness that positivity and use it?
yeah. So for me, I haven't been waking up at 5 every single day. Before we got into this, I was in a pretty structured routine. It was 5 to 5:15. There's been, my older two are staying up later, and so it's like, fluctuating a little bit. So it's not 5 o'clock every day, but I am up before everybody else every day, and I spend at least 20 to 30 minutes filling up my cup through um, journaling. So a morning journal where I write out things that I'm grateful for. For me, I write out a minimum of 10 things, whether it's something specific from yesterday or something general, so a person, or you know, um, a comfy bed, right? Like I got a great night's sleep, whatever. At least 10 of those things. I then write out. I have about 10 or 12 declarations that I write out. I have some prayer thoughts that I write out, and then I write out typically like 1, 2, or 3 focused things for the day, results that I want to accomplish for the day. I read The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. It's a great, easy read. And then I read Proverbs. So today I read Proverbs. What's today? The 6th. I read Proverbs 6. There's a couple of podcasts that I listen to, again, to get my mind right. In the morning, short little blurbs. Daily Mind Medicine is one with Taylor Welch. Rewire with Ryan Stewman is another. He's a little bit, he can be a little bit hardcore, right? He's the hardcore closer. But man, he brings the messages that he's bringing. It's filling my mind with the right type of stuff, getting me fired up and ready. I try to meditate for 5 minutes, which for me is literally just trying to focus on my breath for 5 minutes, and the whole time reminding myself, I'm not focused on my breath. I'm thinking about that. Like, just get back to your breath. Some days a little bit easier than others. I have now, I've been someone committed to fitness and exercise for a long time. It's what I went to college for. I was an overweight kid who made a decision at age 11 that I didn't want to wear husky clothes anymore. I didn't want to be fat, right? And that shaped my life. So I've been into health and fitness and exercise for quite a time. But for the last, and I'll have to calculate it, for the last 63 days, I have not missed a workout. And the workouts that I'm completing, except for we get one stretch day, light day, out of 7, are pretty intense. And that has helped me, again, stay positive, stay focused, stay strong, and gives me a sense of accomplishment, because every day when I finish that thing, I'm like, that's another thing on the list, right? That I was able to accomplish. So yeah, I mean, that's it. And so the other part of my morning too, because it's not just about me, is I try to make my wife and kids breakfast like literally every morning.
Nice.
It's something I enjoy, but it's also a way for me to serve them, both have something nutritious for them, but also just to serve through works for them. So, that's how I say, by the time we got on here, man, I did all of that. And I've got a list of stuff that I'm trying to bang out still today, but if I don't get anything else done, it's already been a pretty good day.
I love it, man. I love that. Cool. All right. So let's switch gears just a little bit. I want to talk about leadership. And I imagine I know you have a lot of people that look up to you, whether they're people who follow you, whether they're people on your team, or whether it's your family. So how does your leadership look these days, and how has it changed?
Well, I would say the change is just being more just through more acts, right? Like what you described already that you've seen, sharing more openly, sharing thoughts and beliefs and things that inspire me, more openly sharing my faith, um, and just being more confident about all of that, and just trying to, I've always tried to do this, and sometimes better than another, but just lead through my actions, and not just my words, right? And so if I'm telling people that now is the time for you to be a light and to inspire and so forth, I need to be doing that. Otherwise, I mean, what's the point, right? If I'm telling my kids that part of our day we need to get exercise, we need to get a workout in, and I'm not working out, like, that doesn't make any sense. Now they think they think I'm a little crazy, that it's like every day and the intensity level that I'm doing that. But I think also in an honest moment, like I think they would be pretty um, inspired or in awe of that too. At my age, and and so forth. So it's just trying to step up even more as a leader by example, and just being authentic, and um, yeah, just not being afraid to be the person out front and to share messages, and to share, you also being vulnerable too, like owning mistakes. Like I just said here, I mean, I've screwed up a bunch in the house over the last 3 weeks. I've lost my temper. I've not been as focused as I should have been on a conversation with my wife or one of my kids, because my brain is wandering here and there. So owning that stuff and just trying to be better the next day or better the next hour, right? Yeah, I mean, that's how I'm looking at it and approaching it, and will continue to.
So you said something there that I want to just go back to real quick. Man, you said a lot there, actually. Well, the one thing that I want to kind of summarize here for everybody listening is I heard Josh say, don't talk about it, be about it. So
Yeah,
be the light that you want to see. And so I love that, live in that. Something else that you said, and I'm not sure. I already knew, and it's probably because we've worked together and all that. I know that you have faith in your life all the time. You did say that you were bringing that out more. Like, what's different? How are you sharing it more, or what's changed that you're more open with that?
I mean, I have shared that because I've had numerous conversations with people that knew my faith, even before that I even realized that I was doing things that were sharing that. So it's not like I was intentionally hiding it, but just being more openly sharing, whether it's just sharing a Bible verse on Sunday on Facebook, or wearing one of my favorite shirts,
Nice.
you know. So it's just, yeah, I mean, just being more open about that, because I think difficult times like this often remind people, and whether they whatever they believe in, to have faith in a better good, have faith in something better to come. Because if we don't have that, I mean, what do we have? So yeah, I mean, nothing's wildly out of the ordinary. Just being more conscious about sharing that, and not being afraid to do that, or to hide that faith, or the fact that, yeah, that I'm a believer, and that I'm choosing faith over fear.
Love it. Faith over fear. Got to add that to my bullets here.
Yeah.
Cool, 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 cool.
You can
All
find
right.
me on Instagram. I took a shot of that's the shirt I had on yesterday, faith over fear.
Faith over fear. And anybody who's not watching the video or not here on Facebook Live, the shirt is Godfidence, right? That's what
Yeah.
it says.
Yep.
You guys are missing out clearly if you're not here live, but that's okay. That's all right. No FOMO for you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about opportunities. What are some of the opportunities that you are seeing today that maybe are a bright spot for you?
The biggest opportunity, I think, is just to grow, to grow, period. And this is one of the messages I've been sort of repeating, is take this opportunity to grow in the four areas of your life. Let's grow our minds, let's grow our bodies, let's grow our business and our relationships. And the way that is looking, I've kind of described, especially the first two, mind and body, how I'm looking at that to grow. The other thing that I've tried to do, which also has created this time, this pull on my time, is to go back to being more aware of the relationships that you have, and just taking the time to to have conversations, and to get, to reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a long time, and just, just get back to like our roots. I'm somebody that has for a long time um, talked about and is about building systems and using automation and building databases and using technology, for leverage in your business. And I still believe in all of those things. But, this has also been a great reminder, like every one of those leads, every one of those, those email addresses or names or whatever, that's a real person. Right. And so like just being cognizant of like, you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know how they're receiving what's going on. And so just simple messages like, hey, if there's anything in the world I can do for you right now, like if there's any way I can help you, please let me know. And if I can't, we'll go look and try to find that. And just so, simple things like I've also been on Facebook. I've been sending a lot of video messages to people, just trying to reconnect.
I got one.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is, looking at my messages with you, you had sent me one at some point here, and I was like, yeah, I think I probably stole that from JR. But just stuff like that to, things like this remind us, I think, of how important those relationships are. And it's easy in the hustle and bustle. Like for us, one of the biggest blessings of this is we're a huge sports family. And this spring was going to be the first spring where all 4 of our kids were like playing a sport.
Wow.
Where it was multiple days a week, and we're going this way and this way and this one, this one, this way. And we were like excited for it, but also dreading it. And, we haven't gone to, since this has happened, obviously we haven't had to deal with any of that. And so it's an opportunity then to focus on relationships and to get back to, what makes us human. And having the, removing that hustle and bustle creates a little time and space, and, opens the opportunity for that a little bit more.
So I'm going to share this. My 2 favorite text messages right now, because that's what I'm doing. And I do this all the time. Just send random messages through my Rolodex. It is, how you living and what's good.
Yeah.
I'll just send them randomly. I'll go through my Rolodex and just send them to get dialogues going to see how everybody's doing. And that's something we can all do. Like, I mean, it takes nothing to flick your thumb around the same way you're going through your feed or Instagram and all that to send those messages.
And here's what I like about the second one. I know it's like so simple, but when you ask what's good, the person immediately is trying to find the things that are good. Even if more of what's going on isn't good, they're going to start searching for what is good, right? It's like when you say, tell somebody not to think about a pink elephant, right? They immediately think about, so when you say what's good, immediately I'm thinking, yeah, what is good? Well, it's beautiful out, right? Blue sky. So yeah, I love that. I'll have to add that to my my daily practice. Start reaching out.
Little programming, like NLP type thing, right? Let's
Yeah,
do it.
exactly.
Okay, good.
Yeah, exactly.
Using it for positivity every way we can, man. So let's keep moving on these subjects. So we've talked about faith, we've talked about positivity, love, leadership, opportunities. What are you excited about right now, man? What's something that you're really excited about?
I'm excited to see what happens when this is all over. I'm excited to see because here's the other reason why I feel like this pressure to go so hard is anytime something like this happens. Now, nothing exactly like this has happened before, but anytime we go into a recession or things happen, there are people and companies that come out the other side and they change the world. They help hundreds or thousands or millions of other, like, there are massive opportunities that always come out of that, either directly in it or after that. And so I'm excited to see how our world evolves from this. I think it's going to be way more good than anything else. And so just to see what this looks like when we do come out of whatever this is, the pandemic, quarantining, all of that. And what I hope is that some of these pretty cool things that I've seen, like, more people walking around in my neighborhood than I've seen in ever, on a consistent basis, and people spending more time with their family and that kind of stuff. I hope that continues. I know it won't to the degree that it is right now, because there'll be more options and distractions and so forth. But at least on some level, that we learn from this, and we grow stronger as a country and as the world at large because of this.
Now that leads me to the real question.
Oh boy.
The big one that I just wrote down, so I just made up. So looking back, like, and I got this from someone who was on the show last Friday, in fact. 5 years from now, you look back at this time, what's the thing you want to be remembered for most? What action, what you did, anything that you want to be remembered for at this time, something you'd be proud of, anything?
Yeah, for someone, just to have been someone that that didn't cower in the moment, that didn't that didn't even, it just didn't choose negativity, what just wasn't an option, or um fear wasn't an option. I mentioned Ryan Stewman, so I'll bring him up again. One of last week's was his rewire was, are you going to be a worrier or a warrior? Right? Are you going to, in what's happening here, are you just going to worry about all the things that ultimately you have no control over, right? Because that's the reality. Is there's no one of us has any control over this. None. Right? So you can either worry about it and focus on something that you literally have no control over, or choose to be a warrior and respond as someone that is in control of the things that you can control, right? To just own those things and put all of your energy and your focus on what you can control, and doing your best to lead by example, and to inspire and help people through this difficult time, and lead them like a warrior out of it.
I like it, man. I like it. I'm going to have to polish up that question, but I think that's going to be a normal or a regular question on these. So, all right, we're coming up to the end of this. Anything else you want to say as we're about to wrap up?
Just that I appreciate you and what you're doing with this. I think, the fact that you have used it as a top opportunity to step up and lead and just to put this together and to try and be what I've been trying to describe here, is, to try and be a light, and to be an inspiration, and to keep people focused on the right stuff, focused on what's good. Right. And so I appreciate you and everything you're doing. And this is, and here's the thing, like, that's who you are. Like, for as long as I've known you, that's who you are. And so kudos for that, man. Pretty awesome.
Brother, thank you. And I want to just, I mean, the name of the show is the Daily Bread Project, so it's clearly faith driven. But
Yeah.
this was, it hit me, and I said, the Holy Spirit is speaking through me, and I'm going to reflect God's light. And I want to thank you for helping me do that.
Right
You,
on.
sir, are a warrior, And where can people find you when they want to hang out with you?
Yeah, find me on social. You can find me on Facebook. It's just Josh Schoenly. I've got a couple of Facebook pages. You can find me there. I'm not a big Twitter guy, although I mean I do have a Twitter account, but Instagram as well. And I'm not hard to find. So you know, I've been fielding emails and calls and texts and private messages. So and loving every minute of it. So
Love it. Love it.
yeah.
Gang, that's Josh Schoenly, and it's Schoenly. And I
Yeah,
don't know if we're connected on Instagram, but I'm going to go find you now. I'm going to go stalk
yeah,
you up.
right on, right on.
All right. This is the dailybreadproject.com. My guest, Josh Schoenly, today brought the light, brought the power, brought the love and leadership. We'll be back tomorrow with some more Godfidence. Thank you
There we
guys for
go.
tuning in. Ciao.
Thanks, brother.